Apple is slowing down your old devices. They got caught doing this whenever a new phone comes out. Like, I really question Apple's motive at this point.
Well,
it just seems fishy to me. Like, the new phone comes out and we suddenly slow your device down. When you go in to question them about it, it's like, well, looks like it's time for a new device.
Mm-hmm.
Really interesting. Speaking of noticing things, I just... It's like that cartoon movie. What was that?
Just.
With the rabbit, the cop rabbit.
Bar.
You remember that in the DMV?
Zootopia?
Zootopia in the DMV sloth. So like every DMV ever.
Can I help you? And I hated that movie because of the fact that they didn't speed any of it up. They didn't go like 2 minutes later. Help. 5 minutes later.
They just
let the whole thing go.
Thing play out.
It was dumb. Speed up,
it was
okay?
Epic.
Speed up. God, you know what isn't speeding up though? What, you don't like my segues?
So you know what I just noticed? And I sent you a clip. Did you see it? That Apple is slowing down. Like, this whole thing with me and Apple is building. Apple is slowing down your old devices. They got caught doing this whenever a new phone comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, this is like 3 years ago that this report came out.
Yep.
And the lawsuit, which I don't even know if they won. Like, I think the class action failed. It's really hard to win those. I noticed my old devices.
Just continue with the story.
Thank you. Like, I don't get rid of Apple quickly. Like, ever since getting the first iPhone that I've ever had, I've loved it. I love iMessage. I love the MacBook Pro. I love the little magnetic charge thing that sticks in. That way, if you trip over it, you don't, like, rip out the guts out of your computer or your charger. The thing just flies off and you, like, just get it close and it pops in. Like, I love all these little things about Apple. But I couldn't figure out why my iPhone would suddenly go so slow when a new iPhone came out. And I would let it drag out to the point that my iPhone completely crashed. And then I'd go and swap it out. And I never thought two things about it. I just thought, okay, the phone's, it's getting old. Maybe Apple's not as good as they used to be. You know, whatever. But I didn't know they were purposely slowing down devices. That is insane.
Oh, it's insane, but they've been doing this for years. They're making the excuses of, I think the first excuse they used back in 2016? 2016? Yeah, 2016 or 17. I'm pretty sure it's 16 because it didn't hit news until 2017. But yeah, in 2016, I mean, their first excuse for it was the battery. They were trying to be like, no, the battery's gonna, okay, I could understand that because, you know, batteries back then weren't that great. What about now? I mean, your last phone you had, it was an iPhone 10?
I think it was an 8. That shows you how long I, like, waited on it.
Okay, so, and your phone kept crashing. And it continued to crash. It continued to mess up. It
to
continued
the point,
to show
I couldn't even like watch a basic video or do basic editing. It was like, it kind of forced my hand to where it's like, you better go replace this thing now
and
or
we
else.
Had to. I remember I just got back from Arkansas and we were back in the old house and me and Justin just got back up and we immediately had to go out to T-Mobile because you were just enraged, freaking out.
I was like flipping out because I had enough. And T-Mobile, now this gets me about T-Mobile because we've been with them for years. They've been amazing to us. Nobody had the freaking new phone. They had like the basic, smallest, like tiniest version of it. That doesn't even, like they said, well, it's got like what, it's got 65 gigs of space or something like that.
Yeah.
The guy's like, surely that'll be enough for you. I showed him my memory on here. just my apps were 64 gigs. And as soon as he saw that, he goes, "Oh shit."
Well, it's
he said
also-
it nicer, but "Oh shit, you need a bigger device." And I'm like, "Yeah, we had to special order that thing, $2,000 freaking dollars for this iPhone."
And this was the worst part about it is you got your new iPhone. We had to pick it up at a random location
Oh my
in the
God, I
middle
forgot.
of Gardner. And to remind you guys, this wasn't in quarantine. I want to make sure no one's about to flip out. Ooh, you guys will shut your mouth. It was a year ago. Chill. But
UPS.
no, more than a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was UPS. We had to go somewhere out in Gardner at a random PO box where that wasn't like, oh yeah, let's find your package for you. It was dumb.
It was crazy just to get it.
Just to get it, and then you finally get it, and your phone is still having problems to this day. So is your
then again,
MacBook.
You know what they're saying on this battery issue? They're saying that because the apps are more advanced, they take more like processing power, stuff like that. It's going to use your battery quicker. So Apple's statement when they apologized, which was a half-assed apology, it really was. They said that they did it because they could have kept your phone just as fast, but it would have drained your battery faster because, you know, more devices, like the more advanced apps and operating systems. That was their biggest excuse. The operating system, when you downloaded the latest version of iOS, right? It was taking more computing power, so it's going to drop your battery faster because it's an older battery. They didn't want to do that. So instead, they drop your computing power to where it's not even as good as the day you bought it.
Yep.
They're slowing it down. And they were worried that, well, they said, allegedly, they were worried that customers would see their battery draining faster and get upset. Okay, I get that. I would be upset too if the battery's like constantly draining. But would you get more upset over your battery draining quicker or your freaking phone just locking up? I wonder, like, I really question Apple's motive at this point.
Well,
It just seems fishy to me. Like the new phone comes out and we suddenly slow your device down to the point that, hey, you need a new device. And like what Richard said is when you go in to question them about it, it's like, what looks like it's time for a new device. Really interesting.
But I would like to point this out, and yes, remind you guys, yes, I have a Samsung. Yes, I am biased, but I will say this. My sister still has right now a Samsung Galaxy 8. She has 8, and I have the Note 8. Our phones work just fine. Yes, our phones been through hell because we drop them. You know, they go through so much.
Oh, God.
I have
I've run over
Pokemon
'em
Go
with a semi.
on my phone right now. Okay, it's on my phone, and it's not draining battery life super fast. It's not doing any of that. I can still use this phone. My mom has a slightly upgraded version. No, she has a 7.
Really?
She
What does
has
Dad
a 7.
have? Because he's been
Dad
filming
has
corn
some
dog
kind of
stuff on his.
knockoff. He has some kind of knockoff Android garbage. But you know,
Still holds its own,
yeah,
believe it or not.
does its own. They don't need updates. They don't have like, oh, you can update and get the new one just right now, just for a minimum. No, there's none of that.